Okay, stock market technical analysis. We're going to use the charts to tell us where the markets might go. Again, nobody really knows where the markets are going to go. All we can do is use the technicals to give us probabilities, and that's what this channel is all about, is finding the probabilities and then managing those trades. Okay, guys, if you guys find a value in the content, if you could just hit that thumbs up right away, I do appreciate it. Early in the video, I think it helps the channel. I don't know, but I do appreciate it. Just give that button low click. Thank you, and we will move right on. SPY, all right, SPY levels to watch. All right, key level, our former high right here, which was sitting at about 454.40. You can see here we had the breakout. We broke out, made a new high, and we've come down, and we're basically at that level right now. So you'll see here on Friday, we dipped below it. See the candle, how the wick, we were below that key level, but pretty much closed the day right on that key support level. I covered all my short trades on Friday, and I really went home on the weekend flat because of the fact that we closed, pretty much right there on support. And if you look at the weekly chart on the SPY, same thing. See that? I had that level marked out. We dipped below intra-week, but ended up closing the week above that level. Today, we're above the level, moving up a little bit more today. And so until that level breaks, until we see that go, 454.30-ish, no sell signal, at least on the short term. So ultimately, this is where the buyers should step in, because if you look at the daily, we're at support. This is where, you buy at support, short at resistance. We're at support, and this is where the buyers should be at. So until we see the level go, then no dice. However, we did have a pretty good sized negative divergence that has played out for a correction. We definitely got that correction. Our sell signal was all the way up here. I have it circled, and a move all the way down. It was about 3%. So we definitely caught, that move. But, I just don't see any real reason to be short the market in general until this big level goes. All right. Looking at the hourly chart on the SPY, we also did put in some bullish divergence. So you'll see this low right here on Friday, and then that was your former low. And yet, if you look at the momentum, starting to move higher right there on the hourly. So the momentum's moving higher when we made a kind of a slightly new lower low. Now that's bullish divergence on the hourly chart, meaning that we're likely going to get a short-term bounce, and we've seen that today. All right, we did get a bounce today, rallied up. All right, so at this point, I'm waiting for this key level to break, 454.30-ish on the daily chart, waiting for that daily close. If you see a big impulsive hourly breakdown, it's likely gonna, that's likely gonna be the break. But you'll want to at least wait for an hourly candle close below that level to confirm. And I think we're gonna get it. All right, I don't know when we're gonna get it. Might take a couple days, but I do think we're gonna get it. Going back to the weekly chart, we did have that bearish engulfing candle right here on the weekly. So this big candle engulfs, pretty much the former 3 weeks. All right, we've captured the three prior weeks within the one candle. And then the following week, we also saw more selling or a confirming candle. So that is candlestick analysis. Again, I teach these concepts in my stock market technical analysis course. Check it out, link in the description below. But these two candles are reversal. That's a reversal setup right there, a reversal pattern. You look for these at the end of an extended upward run, and on the weekly chart, that's a pretty long extended run. So we did see the reversal, and now we could maybe bounce for a couple weeks, but I don't expect us to break over the all-time highs before heading lower. Okay, I think we're going to go lower before we make a new all-time high from where we're at right now. But we could bounce maybe this week, next week, maybe kind of muted bounces over the next couple of weeks where we just kind of grind higher, flag out, and then continue lower. So again, looking for those support levels to break. And I do think that we will see more downside before we see more upside, just because of this weekly chart pattern that we have. And then once again, on the weekly chart, if I roll out, this trend line comes off the 2009 lows, and we just mark that out. We got support. See all the time? I've got it all marked out every time it's a support. We then broke in 2018, and the Fed started cutting interest rates and pumping QE to pump the market back up. Hit resistance, deflated again. Fed stepped in again. Now we've recovered it. You can see the Fed, basically has pumped so much money, they've been able to recover that trend line, and every single tag of that trend line has held as support. Okay, so bigger picture, you'd want to see that go for a bigger, to say that we just maybe saw the longer term top. You'd want to see this trend line go. All right, so I can't fully, in all confidence, say that this is the all-out top of this bull market. But if we see this start to break, a big impulsive breakdown, then I could say that the probability definitely is in that favor. So I think likely we're going to sell off down to this trend line, chop around here, and then we'll see what happens down there. Okay, carrying with the weekly theme, here's triple Qs, our tech sector. Again, you can see on Friday, intra-week we were down here, but on Friday they managed to rally it up and closed right at that 382.90 level. And that is your former resistance on the weekly chart. See it right there? If I flip over to the daily, you'll see that that former high was right in here. And we were trading below it on Friday, but they managed to close it right above that support level. So to me, that seemed like a great spot to exit my short trade. I was just flat over the weekend. I started to nibble back a short today, but a very, very small amount. I'm not taking a larger size position until I see some more downside and a break of this trend line. So on the daily, I nearly need to see this support level about 382.80. That needs to go. All right, and if that breaks, I think we're heading straight down to this lower trend line. I've got it scrabbled right down here, but basically it's going to be down here. We've got some good support down at that 370-320 area. And also there's a ascending trend line coming off the September 20th time frame. You can see all the times we've hit that support we've held. So that's really good support down here. All right. So if we break that 382.90-ish, I think we're heading right down to 373, somewhere right around there. And then I really wouldn't be interested in, remaining short. This is an area that I'd want to cover a short trade, but I wouldn't, and I wouldn't want to remain short unless I see another sell signal, which would come on a break of that trend line right there. Okay, until you see that, then this is likely the spot to cover. And that's another, from where we're at now, about 3% or so to the downside. All right, that's all I have on Qs. XLF, traded basically right into resistance today. So you can see this was former resistance right through here. We finally broke out, but that since failed. You can see we hit it. It was support, but then it failed. And today they traded it right up into that resistance level, and then they sold it down and closed back below. So that is, that's objective area to short right there at 38.90. Any kind of tag of that, and that's resistance. I think we're likely heading lower from here, to be honest. So I'd look for lower prices in the next few days on XLF. And I think it's likely we're heading down to 35.34 is the next level of key support. Quick update on a short trade idea I talked about over the last couple of weeks and months was GNRC. Again, I was looking at the sell signal, pretty much right here. This is where I pointed it out, saying, okay, GNRC looks like a good short. And, I was looking for it to trade down to the first level of support, about 384.72. You can see we pretty much just went straight down. This one came with negative divergence. Look at on the daily. See the big negative divergence? This told me that we're likely going to break trend and start heading down. And sure enough, just pretty much straight down ever since. Hit that level of support, closed right on it. Today, gapped down and sold off even more. So pretty impulsive. Looks like we're heading straight down to the next level of support, 339.50. That's going to be probably pretty key support right there. I would look for at least some sort of a reaction. If I was short, I'd probably want to cover just slightly above that key level. Okay? But so far, the trade from, pretty much from the entrance to where we're at right now, 22, almost 23% gain on this one. So very good trade in a matter of just, a couple weeks. That's swing trading. And again, the negative divergence was the leading indicator to tell me to look for some downside on this one. It doesn't look like much. I realize that because it's log scaling. If I turn the log scaling off, you can see it's definitely, just pretty much heading straight down. It's already taken out all the price action from, going back all the way to June of this year. All that has now been taken out and trapped to the long side. So I think there's some more selling in the short term. And let's look at a long trade idea, VALE. Again, I talked about this. Bullish divergence right here on the momentum indicators. Again, check out the course if you guys aren't familiar with these concepts. I teach all this in video courses, about 5 to 6 hours of training, and it's a really good value. So check it out, link in the description below. And, this is your bullish divergence. So it looked to me like this was your buy zone down here, kind of have it circled. And really your buy signal came right here. That's a pretty clean buy signal. The recovery of this blue trend line. If I roll out on the daily chart, you'll see this is your 2016 lows. Here's COVID drop, recovery. And then once we were there, we kind of held. And so, yeah, looks good to me. And today up 5% and continuing to move higher, which is what that bullish divergence was forecasting. We also had this bullish falling wedge pattern, broke to the upside. So I think we're heading up. I think we're heading up here, 1508. That should be resistance right there. So I'd expect a reaction there. We break above that, then I'd look at this level here. We'll just start marking it out now. That's pretty good resistance right there, and that would be at about 1611. Okay, so I would expect this to be real key resistance. Right in here, if I can mark it out, 1611. All right. Yep. So that's working so far. Gold bullion, no real change. If you look at the last couple weeks, we've just been grinding around pretty much from 1790 down to this lower trend line. This lower trend line comes all the way back to your bull market. This is really where we established the trend back in August of 2018. And basically, you can see every time we've hit this, except for this little brief shoot. Let me put log scaling back on. Sorry about that. We hit that there, support, and here we are again. So nothing's changed. Bigger picture, we're near support. This is where I'd expect gold to rally. Now we could sell down a little bit more. You see, we haven't really hit that trend line. My trend line could be off slightly as well. So I think we're in the area of support, whether we go down a little bit more or not. Looks like we're going to hold in this area. If you look at the, we had clear bullish divergence. This was your last divergent low right here. Let's see that big wick. It ran down, made an equal low from these former lows, and yet the momentum was higher. Okay, so there's your bullish divergence right there. And we haven't made a new low since, really. I mean, we've been trending higher. See this? Higher lows and higher highs, all right? So I'm thinking we're going to rally somewhere right in here. Maybe we trade out for a few more days, grind around, start to work our way higher to make a new higher high, and continue the bull trend that gold has been in. Okay, I'm going to wrap up with the trade idea here, MGM. Now, this one's already started to play out. It's already broken down, but I want to point out the key levels to watch. So we have this bearish rising wedge here on MGM, pretty big wedge since November 2020 is really when it started. You can see this is your last tag here, new high. It wasn't really a divergent high. Well, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. It was. My PPO is a little messed up, but you can see that on this chart right here. Let me see if I can expand that. There it is. See how we made a new higher high in price, and yet the momentum right there was lower than before. So we have that on the RSI and the PPO. That's a new divergent high. And so we reversed pretty much right off that divergent high, came straight down, and we broke this wedge. Now, it wasn't impulsive at first, but you can see we broke, closed right at it, gap down, closed below it, and then we back tested, failed. Back tested again today, and so far we failed as well. Here's the back test. They ran right up there, hit it, rejected, failed. I think we're going lower. I think we're actually starting a downtrend, heading straight down to this key level right there, 33.97. We'll call it 34. All right. As I roll out, you can see this was kind of our pre-high right before COVID, 34 area. And I think that's likely the area of support that will actually probably hold at. So that's what I'm looking for as a trade idea. rejection off resistance, and a continuation to the downside. And I'm going to wrap up here, guys. Leave a comment below on anything you want me to look at, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Bye.